Today we're going to be looking at a few of my favourite urban casual motorcycle boots. Now the ones that we're going to be focusing on aren't the sportier kinds or the ones that actually look more like boots, but the ones that emulate the trainer sort of style. So let's get straight into it. Now, why an urban motorcycle boot? Well, because instead of having to go for something big and bulky like your standard traditional boots, some people might opt for something that can be used day to day without having to change out or carry another set of boots. Now, this is where this comes in. It's going to be a lot comfier. It's still going to have the level protection to be safe on the motorcycle, but I also have the ratings on the inside, which is the key importance when we look at these urban boots. So how do you determine a motorcycle boot? Well, if you look inside the boot itself and see a label that has something like this, then you know it's going to be rated for motorcycle riding. The things that you need to look out for is the little emblem or symbol of a person on a motorcycle, and underneath it a number system. Now that number system indicates what it's been through in testing. Starting from the very left to the right, the first one would be your height. So if you have a 2 for a height, that means it'll be a higher cut. The second number is going to be your abrasion resistance, so when you come off and slide. And then third one will be your impact cut, so when something gets stabbed through the boot. And the last one is going to be your transverse rigidity, so if a motorcycle were to land on said boot. Now those are the things that you look out for. A 1 is going to be a pass, and then number 2 would be a superior pass, so it passed a higher level of safety testing. So what boots are we actually going through today? I've actually picked 3 with one bonus one at the end, which is kind of new to us. But starting us off, we got the Furygan Sacramento D3O Boots. Now, I might be a little bit biased because I do own a pair myself, but in the all white colorway, because you have 2 different color options, that white one and this one. Now in the name, it's kind of obvious as D3O in the key impact zones that you'd need. A reinforced toe cup, as well as a gear shift protector for changing gears, of course. And it being French a little bit, well, there's lots of little reflective bits around the boot itself, which is quite nice, because as in France, as you might know already, you have to have reflective bits in your helmet. They just incorporated it in the boots as well. Now the overall fit is really comfy, it's nice, it feels snug, and I wear it day in and day out. These boots are the ones I wore in my tour. I did over 4,000 miles in these boots, and they didn't let me down once. Now the rating is where it might fall short compared to the other ones we're going to be talking about today, because it only has a 1 across the board. Now that's still a pass, and I did touring these, so these are still a fantastic boot for $149.99 RRP. Next on the list is going to be our TCX Street 3 waterproof boots. Now TCX as a brand only do boots. They even put it on the label. It says TCX focus on boots, and that's exactly what they do. Now the Street 3s come in varying degrees of styles and fits and forms and everything else like that. You can get this in the waterproof, you can get the air. There's so many different variations of this one boot. As you can tell, it kind of emulates that sort of styling that you would see on a normal pair of trainers. Not going to name names, but you kind of guess where I'm going at. Now with this, it does have D3O as well, and it is waterproof. Like I said earlier, all the boots that we're going to actually be talking about today will have some sort of waterproofing. This one uses T-Dry as their membrane, and it's a nice fitting overall boot. Now the thing that stands out for this as well is they have their patented Z plate on the inside. What this basically does is allow you to have the flexibility this way, but in the event that something lands on your foot, it'll actually be protective, because the plate in the inside acts as like a brace to stop it from crushing your feet. Now this comes in at around $159.99 RRP, so it's a little bit more expensive than the last one, but still worth all the money. The overall rating of this is going to be a 1,221. Last on our list is going to be the Alpinestars J6s. Now, one thing I have to say is this is probably the most popular casual boot at Infinity, and if I can think of it right now, the Infinity lot at Camberley, there's at least 4 people that have these J6s. They swear by it. Now, these have been around for a little while and have performed really well for us, and is one of the most popular boots that we do at the moment. Now, this is the brown colorway. There's also the black one if you want to go for something like that. It has full cowhide leather on the exterior, giving you high abrasion resistance, but also that soft, supple feeling that makes it look more like a casual boot. Now on the interior, you have a Lycra footbed and an EVA foam sort of situation in there. That's removable and interchangeable if you want to swap them out if it does wear away over a long period of time. The midsole is reinforced, so when you're putting your foot down or stopping or whatever you're doing with your feet, it will wear away a little bit slower. On the outside as well, if you look at here, the ankle and heel protection is derived from their MX riding boots. So that's kind of cool. They've incorporated it into such a casual boot. This is also fully waterproof. Like I said, all the boots are going to be waterproof because, as you know, in the UK, it's always raining here. We don't know what the weather's going to be like. So having a waterproof boot is always the right thing to go for. Now, the rating for this, which I'm guessing you're going to be looking into, is the 1222, which makes it the most protective out of the lot today in terms of its passing and testing and everything else like that. For the price, it is the most expensive one out of the lot, but still worth its money. It's going to be $184.99 RRP. For our special mention, because it's kind of new to us, so new that we don't actually know how to pronounce the name properly. Well, I don't, at least. Is it called Gaerne? Gaerne? You let me know in the comments down below how you actually say it phonetically or how you pronounce the word itself. But for me, I'm going to call these the Rome GTX, the Gore-Tex boots. This is fairly new to us. It's something that they've just introduced into Infinity. We have the casual boots as well as, of course, the adventure boots or the MX boots that you would expect from this said brand. But today we're going to be focusing on this urban boot. Now, why is it a special mention? Because it's going to be something new, but it's also the one that's going to be the most expensive or the most costly out of the lot, just coming in shy of £200. But what this has against everything else that we've spoken about today is the fact that it sports Gore-Tex. This is the only one that has Gore-Tex in the boot. The side zip is actually something different compared to all the other boots that we spoke about today, as it is the only one that has it. Now, this means it's easy for us to get it on and off our feet without having to undo the shoelaces. You can also tuck the shoelaces in and away, unlike some of the other boots that I spoke about earlier. The finish is a leather finish on the outside. It has a nice white sole. It also has a rating of 1222 and something that you would expect for something just shy of £200. Cool little boot. That was just a brief overview of some of the boots that we stock here at Infinity. These are going to be the most popular ones, so of course I'm going to share them with you. Now, the thing that's most important that I wish you guys to take away with is the fact that the level or the ratings of the boots is what matters the most. Afterwards, it's going to be the looks and the styling and of course comfort as well, because any of these boots I'll be happy to wear day in and day out. It's literally down to personal preference at this point. If you did like this video, give us a thumbs up. Comment down what boots you ride in or which boots at the back behind me are ones that you like. Be sure to subscribe, ride safe, and I'll see you all soon.